Here comes Vinny Testaverde. Last week against Oakland, 19 of 33, 254 yards, and scored a touchdown. A look at the offensive line. Tony Jones starting his 100th straight regular season game. The rookie Jonathan Ogden with a terrific performance last week. Biner and the former Bill Gardner are the running backs. Jackson with Alexander and Kitchen the receivers. And the pitch for Leroy Ford, a late change in that starting lineup for the Ravens. So Ford gets the call, carried only twice last week, and Levon Kirkland combining with Brenston Buckner to make the stop. Buckner is in there for Bill Johnson. He was used sparingly last week because of a knee problem, and you can see the changes in the linebacker core due to the injuries suffered by Greg Lloyd and Jason Gilden and Stephen Conley. So Chad Brown is to the outside. Woodson and Williams at the corners. Lake and Perry are the deep men. And a second down play for the Ravens. 2nd and 8. And Testaverde picked off. Intercepted by Rod Woodson, and he is in for the touchdown. All right, Sam, you have seen Vinny Testaverde have his ups and his downs. We just saw one of the downs. What happened?
Well, you know, first off, Vinny has thrown 10 interceptions against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the last 4 games. He looks right at this throw. The thing you don't ever do in professional football is a token fake, but you look at it too long and you give the defender a chance to jump on it. I think Rod Woodson had the running start on that one from the time he pulled the ball back to his ear.
Combination of the rookie from Fresno State, Jaheen Arnold, and Charles Johnson. And this is Johnson on the return. Broke tackles, reaching out to the 30-yard line. Charles Johnson.
Sources there.
All right, from the 30-yard line, the Steelers to the offense. Erric Pegram stopped by the strong safety Stevan Moore. A look at that Pittsburgh offensive line, as you mentioned right at the start. They're very happy to welcome back Brendan Stye, who sat out last week with a sprained ankle. It allowed Justin Strelzik to move back to his normal position of right tackle. Pegram and Lester are the running backs. We'll see much of Bettis. And Charles Johnson for the injured Yancey Thigpen sitting it out again with the ankle problem. And Cordell Stewart, and was unhappy about it and had some words to say about that after the game. Burnett, Goad, Footman, and Lyle up front for the Ravens. Lyle for the injured Anthony Pleasant sitting it out. Ray Lewis with a terrific debut in the NFL. He was voted AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week. And a strong secondary. Langham and Booth in the corners. Moore and Turner are the deep men. It is a 3rd down and 2 as Cordell Stewart gets the crowd going as he checks in for the first time. And here is Cordell with the play fake. And now will run for it and has the first down.
But they have advertised that he's going to play more at wide receiver than anything else. Got the flow going to his left, kept the ball rolled to the right. You can see that he did have Mark Bruner.
A memorable time, intercepted his first pass and then sacked twice in a row by Jeff Logan. And Tomczak on a timing pattern, and it's caught. Beautifully done. Charles Johnson on the reception.
Bump and run. You see the bump and the run. As he goes down the field, the ball is underthrown, but the receiver, Johnson, lets the defender continue to run. Antonio Langham didn't find the ball as fast as Johnson did, and he was out jumped.
24, 5.5 to go in this first quarter. Pegram, and Pegram is run out just outside the 10. It is a Pittsburgh first down. Erric Pegram with a 14-yard gain, run out by the right corner.
Pegram wasn't real happy that he didn't get the ball in the second half after a fast start last week. But, you know, talking to Bill Cowher, says it really doesn't bother him to hear a guy talk about it. He wants to play. He wants the ball.
Of the drive. Tomczak with a bullet. And Hastings trying to make the move, looking for the end zone, and is just short.
Reminiscent last week, really, of the pass that Miller missed. This one's to the right side. Miller was throwing to the left side, just a straight quick 5 steps, right timing throw and a little pivot or hook. Hastings trying to squirm for the first down, but Antonio Langham's not going to let go.
3rd and goal from the 1. And here's Bettis slicing his way in for the touchdown. Jerome Bettis, one-time Los Angeles and St. Louis Ram, who led the Steelers in rushing in preseason, played well last week, and he's able to make his way off that left side to give Pittsburgh the lead.
Just a base power play. Every team has it down around the goal line.
Vinny Testaverde is the quarterback. Picked off on his very first pass attempt by Woodson, who ran it in for a touchdown. Here's Biner, stopped by Kevin Henry. Back in Pittsburgh, Marv Albert with Sam Weiss, second quarter getting underway. Testaverde for the end zone and overthrows. Off the play fake, Testaverde with nowhere to go as he was met by Ravati. So Eric Ravati and Carnell Lake combined to make the stop. The Steelers have the blitz going.
For sale in Baltimore next week.
Well, I noticed that Derek Alexander held on to it.
Smart move.
As opposed to what occurred last week. All right, Pittsburgh back to the offense, and Bettis able to break tackles. And a beautiful run across the 30-yard line. Dan Footman, the right defensive tackle, able to collar Jerome Bettis.
Back to the running game. Pittsburgh staying with their game plan here. Coach Cowher told us before this game that this gave him, with Tomczak in the ball game, gave him an expanded.
Off the new quarterback coming in, even though Tomczak is a veteran, they would go to the run more frequently. Nice roll by Tomczak, and completes at midfield to Johnson. Charles Johnson making the adjustment at the 47. And here's Bettis. Bettis again breaking tackles, getting inside the 25, and it was Footman and Moore combining to haul him down.
Downhill means that you stretch for a step or two and then you attack the line. You saw him make that sharp cut straight up towards the line of scrimmage, broke right into the secondary for the long run. Downhill is how most running backs want to run. That's when you're gaining yards.
Peeling off, so slash back on the field as Tomczak swings it out for Bettis. Good block. And Bettis ramming his way inside the 20-yard line. Meeting up with the right outside linebacker, Mike Caldwell. Down and 2. And Tomczak completes. Nice move by Hastings. Monty Dawson has returned, so he missed 2 plays with Sweeney taking over. First and goal from the 7.
Big boost for the Steelers to have Dermontti Dawson back in there. The center is always the captain of the offensive line.
He's going up against Dawson, and he says no question, he's the best. Tomczak with the tie, touchdown! Charles Johnson on a post pattern and a bullet pass from Tomczak, who is 7 of 8, 83 yards, fast start, and he's given the Steelers a 6-point lead.
Experience that this guy has right here. Sets up, throws the ball high and away. Nobody's catching this except the receiver. If it's out, if he misses it, it's incomplete.
Score 8 plays, 80 yards. They have the football, 4 minutes and 50 seconds. It's Pittsburgh by 7. 3 years ago. So the Baltimore Ravens with only their 4th possession of the game. Biner stopped back behind the line. The Ravens, incidentally, will be playing at Houston. 2nd and 11. And the tight end, Brian Kinchin, with the catch. But it's a short advance. The strong safety, Carnell Lake. It's a 3rd down and 6. Testaverde running out of the pocket and then fumbles. Recovered by Rod Woodson.
Sports other than, of course, snakes.
Yes.
But as you see, he's scrambling up the pocket. What you're supposed to do, he doesn't get the ball put away quite fast enough. Kevin Henry is the main hit right there, along with Carlos Emmons, and then Rod Woodson with his second turnover. The first one being an interception, and this one a fumble recovery and field position.
6.5 left in the half, and the Steelers first down at the Raven 43-yard line. Pittsburgh 21, Baltimore 14. Here's Bettis, and apparently it is Bettis who now has the hot hand, although Pegram ran well early, but 2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line. Tomczak to the sideline. Johnson to the 31, and a first down. Tripped up by the corner, Donnie Brady, who replaced Antonio Langham when Langham went down. Yard line. Tomczak with the pump, and again, and then floats one to the tight end Bruner. Mike Kroll with the tackle on Mark Bruner, who is right at the yardsticks. That's the first catch of the day by Bruner, and they are spotting it as a first down.
What you're seeing here with Mike Tomczak is the veteran intangible coming into play in the ball game. 2 pumps and then dropping the ball over. Now watch what happens with Mark Bruner after the catch. It seems that when you've got inspired play by one player, it inspires another. The reaching of the ball for the first down there at the 20. I missed you.
2nd and 11, so a loss of the yard on that wrinkle. And Tomczak for the end zone, a wide open Andre Hastings for the touchdown.
Bill Cowher used one word. He said, I'm putting him in on one factor and one alone, experience, right down the middle. There's no safety here. Everybody's out of the middle except for Andre Hastings. 2 touchdowns. They said they'd go to it when they were ready and not before.
Bullet that is broken up. Testaverde looking for a forward. He had nowhere to go, and Brixton Buckner made the play. For him to make the decision to leave you and the Buccaneers, that time out of the no-huddle, Kitchen, the intended receiver, but not able to come up with it. And we'll see our first punt. Troy Aikman and the Super Bowl champion Cowboys facing the Indianapolis Colts. Well, the screen develops. And Erric Pegram able to get some yardage. 2 touchdown passes. And it's Pegram breaking a tackle, stiff-arming his way out to the 40-yard line. Eric Kerner, the free safety, up to make the stop. 14-4 at halftime. Very cooperative guy. And Leroy Horde is hit back behind the line by Kevin Henry. Now a half minute left in the half. And Testaverde's pass was almost picked off. A diving attempt by Woodson. Could not hang on. 3rd and goal at the 10. And Testaverde comes up short. Intended for Alexander. So the field goal unit will check in. Fullback. And here's Mike Tomczak. Look at that stat line. 12 of 13. 2 touchdowns. 2nd down and 5. And a hole for Bettis. He has the first down. Browns under Marty Schottenheimer, a linebacker with the Browns. Bettis out to the 35-yard line. Stopped by the middle linebacker, Ray Lewis. First 3rd and long for the Steelers in today's game. The swing for Pegram with running room, and has a first down. Pegram bumped out by Brady.
You see him on the left side of your screen right here. He sets to block and then releases. I think this was a planned play. He got out of there a little bit too quick. The quarterback looks down the field, lets everybody come in, bait those defenders to come on in, is the term used.
47-yard line. Play action. Tomczak. Oh, again, wide open. Andre Hastings. Today. And Detroit leads Tampa Bay. Bettis picks up the first down. Lewis, a record of 2-2 for the month of September, and I'll go to October right now. Here's Stewart on the reverse. Gets to the 20-yard line. Stopped by Stevan Moore.
Already today.
2nd and about a yard. And Bettis powers his way and then goes to the spin to collect the first down.
It's the same as a tweak.
Yes,
it's the same as a tweak.
You're supplying all that good verbiage for us here. 35-yard field goal attempt for Norm Johnson. And it is good. 7:22 left in the third. And the Steelers lead the Ravens 31-17. The growing pains.
Sometimes you have to do that. Third and short.
So they established the third at about a half yard, and Ford was stopped by Curry. And Tomczak able to complete to the flat for Hastings. Andre Hastings, his favorite receiver, his 6th reception. Lewis and Moore combined, and a first down at the 40. Pegram finding the hole. Very impressive move.
Pegram shouldn't be unhappy after this ball game is over with if it continues as it is. He and Jerome Bettis are both having their turn at bat, both doing a good job, gaining a lot of yardage. A lot of that one after the initial block was on quickness and speed, and that's Erric Pegram.
Here in the third.
You hear about coaches making in-game adjustments and those kind of things.
First down at the 18. Play action. Testaverde could not find anyone and throws it away. Third quarter, although the Ravens have not had the opportunity, Pittsburgh has had the ball most of the way. And here's Testaverde after stepping up, and it is broken up. Woodson all over Alexander.
He gets the step early, though. He starts earlier because of his experience in analyzing what's going to happen. Therefore, if he is a step slower now, Mark, he arrives at the same time. But
remarkable recoveries in NFL history with Woodson able to return at the end of the year. Good pressure by the Steelers.
We're seeing Vinny Testaverde reverting back to some bad traits right now.
17. Testaverde changed his mind, and I think he wanted to throw it away, and at the last instant saw Derek Alexander. Testaverde not able to get anything going. Again, can't find a receiver. Excellent coverage by the Steelers, and once again is forced to throw it away. Well, there is a completion, only his second of the second half, as Alexander is able to make the catch, covered by Figures. Testaverde only 2 of 7 in the second half. Insists that health is the only reason that he's missing the game, as Hastings makes the catch and then is forced out of bounds, but has a first down. The lone deep back is Jerome Bettis. And again, Bettis able to break tacklers.
Very vocal, and the team was always pretty good too.
And Tomczak completes to Stewart. Cordell Stewart on the reception, bringing inside the 35. It's a 21-yard hookup. And for Cordell Stewart, who did it from motion, it is his second catch.
Stewart comes in motion, then just turns up, back to the inside. He attended all those quarterback meetings during the week, but he apparently learned that play.
33-yard line. That's Hastings, 88 in motion. Oh, and a reverse. Hastings. And that did not have the Ravens fooled.
The problem with that play is your lead blocker was wearing number 18. Reverses his field, takes the ball from Bettis. Right here. Here's your blocker. Watch this effort. There he goes. Yeah, there he goes. Out of frame.
And it goes to Horde, cannot get in. He fumbled. Recovered by Chad Brown.
Fumble last week, Pittsburgh's ball.
A backed up short yardage situation. Jerome Bettis has a first down and then celebrates. And 10 from the 16. Off the pitch, Bettis try to make the cut and makes his move across the 20-yard line. Ray Lewis and Isaac Booth combined very well. It's been a solid performance by Tomczak, and Cordell Stewart has also added to it. Here's Stewart again, refusing to go down and running across the 25. Footman and Kroll combined to make the stop. So it has been an all-around performance for Cordell.
Cordell in motion. The little toss, they've run it once before today. A lot of avoiding the would-be tacklers and making some yardage on his own. Always.
I think he got it.
Always checking the exit polls, aren't you?
I like to play the chalk.
Yes.
So to speak.
You retrospect guys.
And it is a first down. Then they have a bye followed by a home game against Houston. Bettis out to the 30-yard line, who are both slated to be out 2 to 3 weeks with sprained knees. Bettis with a first down once again. Jerome Bettis, 102 yards on the ground.
You own the world at this point. You can even have a little discussion with the side judge.
And here's Bettis. Oh, he broke through a hole. And his tackle from behind as he crossed midfield. Stephon Moore able to bring him down. So Bettis with his first 100-yard rushing game since October of '94 when he was a member of the Rams. Now has carried 21 times, 115 yards.
And he's coming out and the crowd's giving him a nice round of applause. Bill Cowher's going to go over and slap him around a little bit too. Don't hurt him. He just got the, you know what this period in the game is called? It's the stat builder time. This is when everybody wants the ball to pad those stats a little bit with their yards. But they're going to sit on it right now. The game is decided.
One down following the impressive performance of the win over the Raiders last week. And the Steelers able to turn it from the loss in Jacksonville last week. They go to 1 up and 1 down. The former Cleveland Brown Bill Cowher shaking hands with the one-time Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback Ted Marchibroda. Pittsburgh 31-17 over Baltimore here at Three Rivers. We'll be back in just a moment.